legend. You got
legend.
I didn't get legend.
I'm mortified.
So hi everyone, I'm Lucie Cave, or Liz Truss as my husband has decided. He said I look like Liz Truss.
No, you don't.
And I'm joined by Harriet and Ronan and Marketing Director Steve Seddon to celebrate the beautiful new partnership between Magic and On the Beach. You all know by now, obviously, that On the Beach is the new sponsor of Magic Breakfast with Ronan and Harriet. And if you're not up early enough to listen to them in action, here is a little taste. Hopefully we've got one on the screen.
It's that face.
We're just going to look at Harriet.
It's a holiday to Spain, and this one's a corker.
Yeah, 10 nights, 4-star, all-inclusive. That's all the food, drink, pool time you can think of. Just a little bit more. You have up to £3,000 to spend on it.
Nice. Now, because On the Beach is the home of holiday perks. For every Spanish holiday they do, you get a free Spanish course so you can learn the lingo before you go. We are giving you a crash course this morning. We go to Terry in Sheffield. Hi, Terry.
Hey, Terry, how's it going? What's happening? So.
Seguro que la paella está buenísima, pero como le dije antes, yo la prefiero con salsa HP.
Okay, Terry. Option A. Yes, sir. I'm sure the paella is tasty, but as I said earlier, I would like it with HP sauce.
Or is it? Oh, there's a jellyfish touching my foot. Actually, it's all right. It's just a bit seaweed.
That's so
I have
bad.
no idea what she said. Is it A or B, Terry?
I think it's A. I'm sure there was the word paella in there.
Oh, congratulations!
Well done, Terry.
Right answer.
Oh, how good is that? Well done.
Amazing.
You've just made history, Terry. You've won our first ever On the Beach holiday, the first of many. How's your Monday looking now? On the beach!
What's it like for you two watching yourselves back like
It's
that?
awful.
You're relaxed. I have all these ticks that go on in my face. It's hideous.
So that's a little taster of the On the Beach partnership. Now, Steve, let's start with you. So this is On the Beach's first radio sponsorship. And as marketing director, what made you decide that now was the right time to explore that? And what was it about Magic?
So when was it? At the end of last year, we created a campaign, and it really had audio at the heart of it.
Yeah.
It had the most wonderful time of the year song. I know it gets a bit irritating for some people, but that's kind of the idea. And because audio was at the centre of that, we did a lot of radio, a bit of TV, and the Good Stuff, our media agency, came to us with this idea of doing the Magic partnership, and it seemed like a great fit. And in particular, Magic really matches with our target audience demographics. But also, what's really important for us as a challenger brand is making sure that the fit is right with the show, you know, and the energy and the fun and everything comes off it that the show's known for. It really fits with our brand values.
And what were your sort of main goals and objectives of the campaign, and how does sort of Magic work to that?
I think, like, we're challenging TUI and Jet2 in the industry, so for us it's mostly brand awareness at this stage, so it's classic sort of top of the funnel stuff. But I think by having the relationship that we've had with Bauer and yourselves, we've been able to have these longer spot lengths, and then you have the authenticity of not having spot times, but you having the partnership where, you know, you're talking about holidays, and I think hopefully we'll see that helps shift consideration too.
It will. And Ronan and Harriet, so how is it for you as broadcasters? How do you kind of find sort of embedding, you've got to embed commercial messaging into what you're doing. How easy is that? How do you go about that?
Sure. Well, I think as Steve was saying, you know, if it's a brand like On the Beach, everybody wants a holiday, so it's actually a very, very easy fit, and we know that our listeners are engaged with that, and that's what people think about, certainly at key times of the year. And I think Also, meeting some of the team helped as well. I know some of the team from On the Beach came to see us before the campaign started, and our brief was from them: you can't have too much fun. You don't.
What a great brief!
It was a great brief, wasn't it? It was just relax into it, enjoy it.
Yeah, I think about being authentic as well and trying just to tell the truth. Every morning when Harriet and I get on the radio, we just have a laugh together. We just talk, and you know, there are scripts, but those scripts only kind of get us through. We don't read them, basically, and yeah, we get in trouble for that, but who cares?
You're not listening to this, Steve.
Not permission. Yeah, but we just try and be honest, and I think that's probably why On the Beach locked into Magic Breakfast and wanting to work with us because of that. You know, we get up every morning. We can't believe we have the privilege of just being able to talk to people all around the country and, you know, have a laugh and do what we want to do. It's kind of our train set and we do what we want to do with it. And that can be dangerous, but that's kind of why people tune in and why they like to listen to it, because they never know what they're going to get next, and we don't either. So, and then we like holidays, you know. Harriet and I really like taking holidays a lot. So it really works. It fits perfect.
Just stay forever.
Harriet, why do you think it is that audiences trust you? And obviously radio is huge when it comes to trust.
Yes. I think, as Ronan was saying, I know everybody uses the word authenticity, but I think that we are, and I think we've been together as a show for 5 years, and I think that our audiences have been with us, you know, through some key times.
Yeah.
Obviously, let's not forget the pandemic. I think, you know, I think people tune into the radio to have fun. They know the kind of songs that Magic plays. They know that we're going to be sort of, you know, hopefully engaging and upbeat in the morning. But I think that over a period of time, I think there does develop a relationship that works both ways, that people do trust you. They know that we can do light and shade, we can do grown-up radio, we can do mess about radio. And I think that we are honest with our audience. And so I hope that then when it comes to, you know, dealing with a partnership, they trust us when we say, well, here's a great company, look, they've got great holidays. Yeah.
I mean, just touching on the pandemic, that was an incredible experience for you, but you were having to like record at home, so it's kind of from your home to their home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the beginning trying to navigate it was a bit tricky. Even over the last week, what the country's seen, and you know, broadcasting over the last week, it's trying to read the room and realise what everybody else is feeling, wherever they are in the world, but whether they're at home or in the car or in the office. And you know, we listen, I guess. I think, you know, Harriet's done this for 30 years. She's, you know, I know she doesn't look it, but she's been on radio a long time.
No, baby, really.
She knows what she's doing. She knows who our audience is.
Yeah.
I have been on the other side of it. I've been the audience, but also I've been the one sitting, getting interviewed and, you know, trying to get my songs on the radio. I've seen both sides of it. And it's a privilege to be able to broadcast, to be able to do this still.
Yeah.
Radio is still possibly the strongest medium in the entertainment industry. What we've seen over the last 20 years with the internet and how it's changed the way we listen to music and changed the way we watch television, etc. Radio's still there, whether you're in the shower, in the car, in the kitchen, whatever it is. And so for me, it's an absolute privilege to be able to do that and to do it through these last few years, what we've done and what we've seen.
It's incredible. And as we saw from the clip earlier, you're giving away some pretty amazing prizes, aren't you, on the beach? Can you talk us through some of your callers and prizes?
No, it's exciting and it's wonderful. That one we did, didn't we? We had to do Spanish lessons. I don't know that our Spanish is massively good. I know La Isla Bonita, obviously.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
So there's that.
That's it.
But that's fun to be able to do different mechanics to give away the holidays has been great fun. Also, we're doing a thing which understandably we rested last week, but we will bring it back, whereby we have quite the fun ability, which I've never known in all my years in radio. A really nice dynamic is that if we have a particularly great caller or a great text, or something fun has happened, maybe someone didn't win the reflex but they were hilarious for another reason, we can go, do you know what, we're going to give this person a holiday. And that's what On the Beach have allowed us to do, is just do spot things like that, which I think is really engaging.
The power. And obviously with long-term partnerships, Steve, it means that you can use different sort of creative executions. There's sort of that dialogue and deciding what you do, what you dial up and what you dial down. And we're still in the early stages of the partnership at the minute, but what have you learned about working with Bauer on this campaign? Any surprises?
It's been great. It's been great. we spent a lot of time at the start, really like getting to understand each other's brands and understand Magic and them to understand On the Beach. And we had lots of planning sessions with Good Stuff as well. And I think that was really important. But now we have a weekly status and it allows us to do that flexibility to give out prizes if someone's brilliant on air, you know. So I think having those conversations has been good. And I guess the surprise, not just because I'm sat next to you both, but is like how involved you get and how flexible you are. And I think that makes us feel very looked after. And it's good to know that you know we can tweak things like the day before we go on air and have a different
That's
approach.
radio. That's the beauty of radio.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can tweak it 5 minutes before if you like. Just give us a call.
Not that you'll read the script.
We don't have scripts.
And Ronan and Harriet, what have you learned? Because you've worked with partners, other sort of long-term partnerships. What have you learned about that? How does it sort of affect the way you work?
Yeah, we worked with Benson's for Beds for a long time, and I think it enables you to do forward planning. You wouldn't know about that.
No,
That's
I know what that is.
It enables you to plan stuff, to maybe do some quite brave things. We took the show up a mountain in the Lake District.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because the campaign was Wake Up in a Good Place. And we also had a charity element as well in terms of raising money for Cash for Kids. So that was good. That you can plan things. You can bring in other partners as well. So I think that's important. Yeah.
And you've done some work with Disney. You have Disney Plus as well.
Yeah. We've across Bauer we've a great relationship with Disney, Disney Plus in particular. I have a show. I mean, the best radio of the week is probably on a Saturday from 5 to 7. I have a show, and it's powerful stuff. You know, and I love it. It's great. Now the relationship with Disney Plus is brilliant. It's been something I've done for a year on a Saturday. I learned my craft right here on Magic Breakfast with this one over the 5 years, and being able to kind of try different things like this it's been amazing and incredibly difficult, may I add, to do radio on your own. I had no idea. When you have to actually just talk on your own, you don't have anyone to talk back to or someone to be smart to you or slag you off. I mean, what do I say? What do I do? So, yeah, but I know I've really enjoyed it, and the relationship with those guys, what they're pushing out, the content, the app itself and what they do, it's brilliant. Yeah, I've enjoyed that.
Can I just ask, what have you learned from Harriet? If you had to say...
Oh, a nice question.
Yeah. Thanks. What have you learned from Harriet?
What have I learned?
broadcasting style.
I mean,
What
I
have you
say it's a
learned?
nice question.
Well, it depends what he's going to say.
Might take me a while. No, I've learned my craft with Harriet. I mean, she shows me how to get in the weeds, you know, which those of you that don't know, it's when she gets into something and then she goes so deep that she can't get herself out of it. And then I have to save her. That's something not to do, basically. Honestly, brilliant, incredible radio DJ. I've learned to be a DJ. I didn't know how to do that. I was asked questions when I went into a radio station and I answered them about an album that I had out or something I was doing. Whereas she
now
allows
you can
me
do
to
time checks.
Now I do time checks, and I back-reference songs, which I never did before. That's a talent. Yeah,
Brilliant,
I
brilliant.
feel very lucky.
No, you're a great partnership, and it works really well. We've got some questions from you guys, so I'll read some out in a minute. But my final, very important question is: what are we most likely to see you doing on the beach?
Oh gosh.
There's an idea to go, which I like. I like this idea. There's an OB idea, which is outside broadcast.
OB, good.
That we're talking about going to an airport and doing a kind of don't forget your toothbrush style thing where we bring listeners to the airport.
Oh, brilliant.
We do a competition and we literally send them off to wherever in the world from the airport. We sadly have to stay at the airport. We don't get to go anywhere, which I'll have words.
You get to go in the first class lounge.
Well,
that would be nice.
Give away some less holidays, and then maybe you can go on one. You give yourself one.
We'll give away less so we can do more.
Yeah, what she said is, could you go on less holidays?
Okay, fine. Sure.
What are you most likely to be doing on the beach?
On the beach?
Oh, I see what you're asking.
No, it's fine.
But that was good.
Listen, obviously, clearly,
It's a cocktail menu, I think.
Looking at the cocktail menu.
I think so. Just with a nice book, slightly in the shade.
Nice.
Lovely. Could sit there for hours.
Like you want to go on holiday?
Yeah.
You, Ronan?
When I go on holiday, I'm not really great on the beach. I like to kind of do...
Are you one of the ones who wants to explore all the time?
Well, kind of. Where the bar is and
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's
No, but
fun.
I like to get out and kind of do stuff. So, yeah, I like city holidays more so than beach holidays, but I do like beaches.
You do like me.
Are you
Don't say that
serious?
now.
Are you serious?
Cut that bit.
Hang on, we'll cut that bit.
They do holidays that are not just on the beach.
sorry.
Harriet. Do you know they do other holidays?
Yeah, we
Not
do.
just
Yes,
on the beach
good,
holidays.
back on brand.
You
Okay.
see?
Yeah. Rescued.
Mostly to the beach.
You got out the weeds. You got out the weeds and rescued yourself. Okay, so we've just got time for a few questions. This is from
Fine.
Kat.
I'll save the relationship.
This is from Kat, and this is for Harriet.
Uh-oh.
Do you enjoy hearing Ronan's songs on the show?
All the time.
It's always her idea.
Always. Oh, come on.
Tell the
yeah.
truth.
You know I
She complains, she turns them down when the songs come on, and then she talks about something else.
I do, very much so.
Yeah,
I like
turn them
I
down.
like the fast ones.
And this is for you, Ronan, I think. After being on both, this is from Anonymous, but it's okay.
This is worrying.
After being on both sides of the mic, so music guest and radio host, which side do you prefer being on?
It's still quite nerve-wracking when you're interviewing somebody, and I think, so from a journalist point of view, which I would never call myself a journalist, not in a million years, but from that side of it, actually, when you're interviewing somebody when they come in, and we're very lucky, we get amazing names on Magic, big celebs from all around the world, and sitting there and interviewing them, I get really nervous. So, yeah, I think I would rather be interviewed than to be the interviewer.
Are they people that you've met?
Yeah, and
Before this,
exactly.
so then it's kind of
and I know them,
strange.
and then all of a sudden I'm asking them questions about their, weird questions that I would never normally ask them. And so, yeah, that kind of feels a little bit, that's taken a bit of getting used to. I do it, obviously, and we find the fun in it when we can. But that can be still quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I can understand that. This can be for either of you. What's your most memorable on-air moment on the radio? The last week must have been pretty memorable, I guess.
Yeah. I think, I mean, we have a lot of laughs when we're on the show. Anyone who listens, we do. For 4 hours, we basically laugh and play songs in the middle of all of that. I think, there was one time we went on a roller coaster, and
I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
oh, yes, tell us about that.
Harriet bet me to sing Life is a Roller Coaster on the roller coaster. But she was so scared on the roller coaster that I was laughing so hard at her being scared, which is a terrible thing. I'm a bad person, that I couldn't sing the song. That for me was one of the most memorable times on the show, I think. And that was broadcast on air. So
there's video footage of that.
There is video footage of that floating around somewhere, which is quite...
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Good value.
I think it's also, you could pick out sort of stellar guests, but actually I think it's when we have a caller on who just floors us and just makes us laugh or tells us something really personal. I think that's funny. Well, we had an answer with the reflex.
I was just thinking of that one.
I mean, which is where you have to name 5 things in 10 seconds, whatever. I think that's the rules, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
And it was V, and it was spews lava. And of course the answer was supposed to be volcano, but she shouted vulva. And we were just like, and as you can see, everything's filmed now, and our faces are just like...
we didn't get much.
Oh, no.
We didn't say much after that.
And I think that's what's memorable, is when there was a plan, and then just the plan is like, oh God, where is the plan? And I'm just sort of thinking, at what point do we just play the next song and get out of this? But it's equally learning, how much do you lean into that?
Yeah.
And make, there's no point in being frightened of it and just disappearing, because that's gold.
Don't be frightened of vulva.
Don't be what?
Don't be frightened of vulva.
Yeah.
Laugh
Don't be frightened of
Run away.
So that was fun.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell that you just have a genuine laugh. And I guess there's another question for you, Steve. It's, how have you found the partnership so far? And I guess I'm sure you're really pleased with how it's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aren't you?
They'll be reassessing that when
Yeah, reassessing it. No, I think just that energy and enthusiasm, it just sounds so natural, because it is. So I think the partnership's gone really well, and we're going to measure it. So I think we're committed to to showing how it's performed from a marketing perspective as well. So I think that'll be interesting to see. But in terms of like the brand values and how it fits, it's just been brilliant so far. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
They're going to pay us on with holidays, and whoever's better on radio gets a better holiday.
That would be
So Harriet and I are battling away at the moment to get the best holiday out of them and see how that goes.
I look forward to that. Look forward to seeing you in the airport as well.
Yeah, that'll be great.
That'll be great.
Thanks for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ronan,
Thanks,
Harriet,
Lucy.
and Steve. Big round of applause.
Thanks a million. Thank you.